everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Dolphins going up against the Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by are our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Seattle Seahawks. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This will be fielded at the 8. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. And they'll go with the ground attack here. Fighting through. And some room to work. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. The first play from scrimmage. Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They called a flyer out of the gate, and guess what? They're in the lead now.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll set up to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
And they'll run it here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And they'll go on the ground. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Second down following the run. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands, That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So they're operating in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. A sea of Dolphins there that time in on the tackle. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
3rd and 11, 5 in the secondary now.
Nickel look. Now Kessler. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Their dangerous wide receiver from 19 yards away. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
The first throw here for the backup Garoppolo. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. He's got time. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Whoa, shifty. Whoa. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
You can almost see the wheels turning for the offensive coordinator there. Edge pressure you want to use against them. Oftentimes when they get into the backfield, they're disrupting things. But if they get there too quickly, you can actually slip the ball to a runner and get past them. That didn't happen on that play, though.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And the defense coming through on third down, a loss of 7 to bring up fourth. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
A minute 59 to go in the first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And that's off the mark, incomplete. 3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun on 3rd down, Kessler. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Here we go. Detroit. Detroit.
Here we go on 4th with Kessler. Now he'll let it go deep right side. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going up.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Going to throw right side here, complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag.
Here we go now.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
He's got time in the pocket. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on third after that incompletion. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is indeed good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Jeez, don't you at least want your guys to get a drink of water? Probably pretty thirsty. Whatever, your wish, our command. Third quarter now. This will be taken about the 12. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
11 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Seattle first.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They snap it at 1. Now Kessler, and this is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Now Kessler, and he's got his man in stride, complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Down right around the 25. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there. able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And the seemingly endless drive continues.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there from 8 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Big fourth down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on fourth down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give them.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On second down, here's Garoppolo. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo finding time. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And this is caught on the sideline, but no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it, but was not in bounds, incomplete.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
A gain of 6 there on first. Garoppolo again. Fighting a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together.
False start, offense.
And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Green 39! Green 39!
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And here now it's 2nd and goal. Ball on the 7-yard line. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this.
Let's go! Green 39!
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe the Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense. The penalty is declined.
And if the defense can hold here, this ball game is over.
And they're thinking more than just holding. They're thinking about a takeaway to finish things off.
Here we go! 3-19!
Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And his kick here is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. So now then, it's a big kick there to get this game back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal could still do you in.
Brandon, we're going to see right here. I would expect that after the kickoff, this offense is going to come out throwing. So those first few plays are going to be the key.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
Now Kessler. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Now Kessler. Well, it was 2nd long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going to... Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. Kessler throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing now is Kessler. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. It's just a preseason game, but this is for the win. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And, Charles, he hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
Exactly. And this was by far the most nerve-wracking. They just stepped up and calmly banged it through.
Now Kessler seeing something he doesn't like, so he takes a timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
No, check, Patriots! No, check, Patriots!
One last shot for Kessler. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off.